Let's proceed further now. Now, better here it is given the boys, most of them from wealthy Indian families, wore blazers, caps, and ties. Wearing blazers, caps, and tie was the sign of aristocracy at that time. At that time, but Shimla was called Simla by the natives of the place. Aten, then the Life magazine, in a feature on India, had once called it the Aten of the East. The school was called Aten of the East. Aten is a famous British boarding school. East for India here. So it was Aten of the East. Mr. Oliver had been teaching in the school for several years. The Simla Bazaar with its cinema restaurant was about 3 miles from the school. Okay, and Mr. Oliver, a bachelor, usually strolled into the town, means took a slow walk for pleasure into the town in the evening, usually, miss almost every day, returning after dark when he would take a shortcut through the pine forest. So he used to take a shortcut from the pine forest. When there was a strong wind, the pine trees made sad and airy sound. What happened one day? There was a strong wind. The pine trees made sad and airy sounds, strange sounds that kept most people to the main road, and no one wanted to go inside the forest. They used to follow the main road. But Mr. Oliver was not a nervous or imaginative man. He was not scared of anything. He carried a torch, its gleam, the batteries were running down. He had a torch, but the battery was running down, about to finish. Moved fitfully down the narrow forest path when its flickering, dim light fell on the figure of a boy who was sitting alone on a rock. Mr. Oliver stopped. Boys were not supposed to be out after dark. Mr. Oliver saw a boy sitting in the mid of the forest. Okay, Mr. Oliver thought that he must be a defaulter. Boys were not supposed to be out after dark. What are you doing out here, boy? Asked Mr. Oliver sharply, moving closer so that he could recognize the miscreant defaulter. But even as he approached the boy, Mr. Oliver sensed that something was wrong. He felt something was wrong, something was unpleasant. The boy appeared to be crying. The boy was crying. His head hung down. His head was hung down. He held his face in his hands. His body shook convulsively, unpleasant, means abnormally. His body was shaking abnormally. He had held his head down. Okay, it was a strange, soundless weeping. The boy was crying. It was strange, soundless weeping, and Mr. Oliver felt distinctly uneasy, really uneasy. Then, beta, well, what's the matter? He asked, his anger giving way to concern. Earlier, he was a bit angry with the boy as he found him in the mid of the forest in the evening hours. And according to the rule, the boy should not go out in the evening. What are you crying for? Now his anger turned into concern. What are you crying for? The boy would not answer or look up. His body continued to be racked with silent sobbing. The boy was continued to be sobbing. He was crying silently. Come on, boy, you should not be out here at this hour. Tell me the trouble. Mr. Oliver tried to inquire about his problem. Look up. The boy looked up. He took his hands from his face. He kept his hand away from his face and looked up at his teacher. The light from Mr. Oliver's torch fell on the boy's face. If you called it a face, it had no eyes, ears, nose, or mouth. It was a flat face. The boy had no eyes, ears, nose, or mouth. It was just a round, smooth head with a school cap on top of it. And that's where the story should end. But for Mr. Oliver, it did not end here. The torch fell down from his trembling hand. Mr. Oliver couldn't control his heart beating. His heart was beating very fastly. He was quite afraid. Then he turned and scrambled down, but moved quickly down the path, running blindly through the trees and calling for help. He was still running towards the school buildings when he saw a lantern swinging in the middle of the path. After that incident, he ran to save his life. On the way, he found a lantern. He was still moving towards the school building when he saw a lantern swinging in the middle of the path. Mr. Oliver stumbled up. Okay, the watchman is about to fall on the watchman, gasping for breath. He was gasping for breath. He was, breathing hardly. Okay, what is it, Sahib? Asked the watchman. That on the way he met a watchman. Has there been an accident? The watchman inquired. Why was he so afraid? Had he seen any accident? Why are you running? I saw something horrible. A boy weeping in the forest, and he had no face. No face, Sahib? No eyes, nose, mouth, nothing. It was a flat, smooth face. Do you mean it was like this, Sahib? Means the watchman showed him his own face. Ask this, the watchman, and raised the lamp to his own face. The watchman had no eyes, no ears, no features at all, but even not even an eyebrow. And this when the wind blew the lamp out. And when the wind blew, the lamp was also out. And so the story ended very supernaturally. Clear?